don't know about you guys, but I can oftentimes struggle with understanding what I'm feeling, let alone how to communicate it. I think a lot of people would refer to this as alexithymia, just having a hard time identifying your emotions and being able to speak on it. This is something I've always struggled with. I could go long stretches of time sitting with my internal world, for days, weeks, even sometimes months, and not really talking about it to anyone. But it doesn't mean that I'm not feeling it, right? The whole time I'm processing it on a day-to-day basis. I'm sitting with it. What I've come to realize by now is that I process my internal world in so many different layers that those many layers actually don't come in words. They come in feelings, they come in sensations, they come in visualizations. And the more that I try to grasp at bringing words to that experience, the more I'll find myself being pulled further and further away from what it is I'm internally processing. And that's the downside, I think, sometimes to living in our society, is that everything is so focused on verbal communication, writing out what you feel, talking about what you feel. So what happens when you're a person that needs many, many layers of digestion of what you feel before you could even come up with the words? There's so many people out there that are able to externally process what they feel and know exactly what that is and connect to it pretty quickly as soon as they talk about it. But there's actually a lot of folks out there who are like me that are very internalized, where it might take many, many months of digesting one thing to finally be able to talk about it. I found that really interesting for me to reflect on, because when you guys see me come on here and talk about the things that I talk about, these aren't realizations I'm having in this moment. And that's the funny thing. When I'm talking about these things, when I'm ready to talk about these things, I've most likely already processed this a year ago. It's just a year later, I'm finally ready to put words to it. And with how my patterns are, the things that I'm processing now in my internal life, I'll probably not be ready to speak on it for another few months. If you relate to me in any sort of way, and this sort of internal processing style, I really want to encourage you guys to allow yourself to process it in silence in however many layers you need to. So for me, what really, really does help is allowing myself to just sit with what I'm going through and feel it, and not have to think about an immediate sort of response to it. What really helps keep me sane on a day-to-day basis is going out on my daily walks, listening to music, and just allowing the music to synthesize with my internal world, and allowing myself to slip into these feelings or these visualizations fully without needing to do anything about it, and almost becoming a witness to that internal world, like I'm watching it. The whole purpose of this is you want to become familiar with yourself. You want to become familiar with your internal world. You don't want to shy away from it. You don't want to suppress it. You don't want to push yourself out of it before you're ready. It's almost like do you guys hear my dog drinking her water? Let's see how long she goes. This is actually a great reminder to drink water, y'all. Okay. Okay, she's done. Oh, no. She's going. Okay, she's done again. Okay, cool. Drink water, y'all. Anyways, I forget where I am. Oh, okay. Emotions. In order for you to be ready to talk about your emotions, you have to let yourself feel the emotions. I know that's a crazy concept, but a lot of the times we feel like we don't have time for our emotions. We immediately suppress it, compartmentalize over it. We don't want to feel it. It's useless to us. We want to just move on with our life. We want to be happy-go-lucky, cheerful. Life is so beautiful, Oh, my dog's coming in here. But I feel like what we don't realize is that sort of mindset is very closely tied to the concept of needing to constantly output something. We tie our self-worth to what we're able to do on a day-to-day basis. A lot of us feel like failures when we're not able to do something that day, something productive. But we don't realize that processing our emotions, feeling our emotions is productive. But even saying that out loud, I could feel a lot of you just feeling like a defensiveness towards that, like that sounds dumb. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, how many of us more intuitive, emotional folks have been completely ridiculed for spending days sitting with ourselves? We're told that we're lazy. We're told that we're unproductive. We're told that we need to do better at making ourselves useful. When in reality, for everyone, but especially for us, if we're not processing our own emotions, we're not feeling it, we're not going to be able to be productive. That's the downside. Like, you can only run so long without water when you're a fish. You can only run so long without soil when you're a tree. Know what nourishes you. Know what you need to keep yourself going. And unapologetically do what you need to do to nourish yourself, to sustain yourself. And if not everyone around you will immediately understand the value in what nourishes you, your job isn't to prove it to them, get them to understand. That's their own journey. Your job is to know yourself so well that you're willing to honor yourself in what you need so that you can be productive, if that's what it comes down to, so that you can be in a place where you could better honor yourself and you feel empowered, you feel capable. People oftentimes will talk about how they love the way that I'm able to express myself, that I'm able to put words to things that they've always felt, but they have a hard time communicating. And what I feel like you guys don't realize is that I'm exactly like you. I have a hard time with it too. But the difference is that I have found a way to utilize my own internal processing and actually work with it rather than against it. Ever since I made that switch, the process has become faster, I will say. Although I still need a long time of processing compared to normal people, the processing time is a little bit faster. What would have taken me years to process one thing now takes me maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, and then I'm ready to talk about it. But the whole purpose of me saying this is that for me or for you, simply letting yourself feel it is the first step. Once you've felt it 1 to 10 times and you've become familiar with it, then you could start understanding it. So that's when you start mentally processing that information you've unpackaged. So think about it this way. Your emotions comes to you in a packaged gift. Your job is to open it up and see what lies within. That information that your emotions come with is what you're going to mentally process. And that for me takes another long period of time where I'm processing what my emotions are telling me, and I do it over and over again. So once I've gone through the first round of processing, I'll process it again and again and again. I'll process it while I'm on my walks listening to music. I'll process it out loud with a trusted friend. I'll process it out loud with a family member. Maybe I'll even try to process it out loud by filming a video, but then I have a hard time concisely expressing it and then I end up not uploading it, but I still processed it out loud, you know? But once you understand that information and you've internally processed it, you want to externally start processing it. And this doesn't mean you have to talk about it. That's the thing, is a lot of the times us expressing what we're processing internally is done through tactile, expressive, synesthetic, sensory ways. Sometimes our way of getting it out is by working out, doing something physical like rock climbing, doing something like martial arts. Sometimes it's through art, like music, like painting, like crocheting, like singing. Essentially, you want to give yourself as much opportunity to let your consciousness catch up with your unconscious. You want to let your unconscious an opportunity to come out and express itself. How many times have you guys just naturally started doing something and then it's not until after the fact where you're like, oh my God, that was actually very crazy. I wasn't expecting that of me, or I wasn't expecting that from me. And that's a really good example of what it's like to just intuitively follow that sense of expression and letting your unconscious kind of freely come out and express itself. And the key is to be able to witness yourself in that expression enough to take that in as valid data points to continue processing. Don't feel the need to rush yourself into catalyzing your internal world, your experience, your emotions. Sometimes it's going to just take you a while. And it doesn't mean in the meantime you just put it off to the side and you don't think about it until one day it just makes sense. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is let yourself sit with it, let yourself stew, let yourself process, let yourself express. And one day it will actually feel very, very natural for you to speak on it. And it's because you've gone through the process you needed to go through to get to the point where it's digested and you're ready to bring it out, bring it forth in a way that makes sense because you're that familiar with it. Don't be afraid to become familiar with yourself. If you find yourself very often feeling scared of what's going on in you, that's a good example that you need to sit with it. You need to sit with yourself. Stop avoiding it. Stop avoiding yourself. Every day, you should find a way to connect with yourself and bring sensory stimulation into that process, especially if you're neurodivergent. Anything art related, anything that engages us sensory wise is going to help us immensely. It's not only going to help us regulate, but it's also going to help us synthesize with our internal world, better understand it, better experience it, better explore it. Listen to more music, sing more, hum more, move your body, use your body to feel things, textures, taste things, enrich your human experience with sensuality. And let that sensuality bring forth emotions. Let those emotions unravel information, process that information. And so is this process. And with that being said, y'all, make sure you guys take some time to drink water today. You guys better drink as much water as my dog Bailey. If you guys go to the toilet right now and you peed and it's on a scale of clear to orange, it better be clear. I'm telling you right now. And if it's not clear, y'all better drink a whole bucket of water or something. Eat some yummy food, stay regulated, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.